Hello, everyone. We're going to do a month's end review and just kind of go over. We got a lot of things this month with Tekken and the event that we just had. Tekken was okay. The event itself was actually really boring to play. They didn't offer much as far as gameplay during there. It was just all buy this, buy this, buy this. And this is what they were wanting us to buy. In all honesty, these are items that are good for the characters they came out for and really not very interesting on anybody else. Any of these plates. And it was kind of similar when the turtle plates came out last year, except I think there were some more interesting plates with the turtles because I could throw a katana's plate, even though it's a defensive plate, on anybody that does power gems. These were really specific. This one was probably the most universal of the plates. And to be honest, 50% does not move the damage whatsoever this month. I'm sorry, this meta. So I'm going to say shame on Scopely for a piss poor event. It's even the Tekken characters themselves. You had Tiger King. If you did not get his gear, they underpowered him for a reason, and that is because I keep saying Tiger King. His name is not Tiger King, it is Armor King. I know nothing about Tekken, by the way, if you can't tell. I played it in the arcades. I didn't learn any of their character names. Uh, Growing up, Mortal Kombat was my jam, so Tekken wasn't. I never had it in my home. I don't know if it ever came out in home. Probably did. Anyways, Tiger King, if you got his gear, he's good. If you did not get his gear, he is absolute trash. He's basically the equivalent of a B tier. You're going to be subbing with him, and sure. Anyways, you're not going to use him because you're not going to get hype for him. Now that the event's over, unless they do another Tekken event and offer some hype in there, they paywalled the Tekken character's hype. So, there's that. What's good with Tiger King? His actual trainer ability. We all know it at this point. And unfortunately, moving forward, if there are new players that come into the game, they're not going to have access to this game-changing trainer. And that is unfortunate that they did that. I am so happy to have this trainer, but I wish that they would have put it on one of the MLC cards, just because it's one that is not going to be available in the future. All right, so moving forward, we're trying to breeze through this not as quickly as possible. We're going to spend a little bit of time on each, but it's one of those that we all have the cards now. It's moving forward. What are we looking forward to using in the future? McCool. McCool is currently, they went tech. We just got a tech. As far as Molly Holly, it would have been great to have anything else. Striker, I understand that, McCool was what she was, but they could have easily done a acrobat or, she wasn't a high flyer or anything like that, and I get it. Powerhouse, done. It doesn't matter. It's nobody remembers nobody looks back and go, you know what was really awesome, that Michelle McCool match. She had her time there. She had her place in WWE, but they could have done anything besides technician. Would have been great for Hall of Fame. She does just enough to be considered if you have both gears. And then the way you're going to play her is either triple purple, where you really need the gear to get this to be interesting. The other way is going to be with the countdown setup in the green, and you would need a Tiffy plate to make this interesting. Where to go? This. So it's there. Okay. Tiffy plate makes this interesting along with the hard times plate. Yeah. So there's Michelle McCool. She's going to be okay. Is she going to be your best female technician? Not by a long shot. But she's kind of on par with a few of the others. Right now, as far as female technicians go, we're just going to look real quick into here. And then women in class, okay. Scroll down, technician. It's probably one of the smaller groups. But you've got Charlotte and Liv are going to be better. Jacqueline's going to be better. Mae Young might be better. It's going to be close, though. For Mae, you would need her crown, and you would need increase green. All right, so you need her crown and then the green Piper plate. And she'd give a good competition for better than McCool as well. But for Hall of Fame, she's the best we have. So there's that. All right. Next we have Ray. And this is where we'll first see the moment. Ray, without the gear, is not worth even considering, even with the moment. Just going to leave it at that. He's bad. With the gear, you need the moment if you don't have his plate. Without his plate, you would have to use a green rumble, and to make him somewhat viable. But with the moment, we're looking at green gem damage does 50%, gems do 50%. So this starts to make these two plates look a little bit interesting. The KO plate is giving us 150%, and the nearing in is giving us 350. So total, we have 500% from the plates. We have 2,000%, 2,080 or some random number. And this is a very specific number. And I think it's so specific that they had something like what I did in mind to make it to be where he's just okay. I don't think he's going to be anybody's go-to going forward. There's just too many better options. With this, you can two-click it with a rumble, but there's just better spots for your rumble. And there's just better technicians to two-click with. So Ray is easily forgettable. If you got his gear, if you got his plate, he's going to do wonderful things for you. If you're missing one of the two, you're probably going to set him aside. Next, we have Dom. Dom also has a gear. His artwork, for me, personal opinion, is terrible. He looks like Gomez Adams. He looks chubby. He's not that muscular in real life. He's not that chubby in real life. Let's just call it what it is. Dom is a skinny dude. The artwork does not look like him. So we're going to change his look. Go Tekken on him. What does this Tekken do for us? It gives us 380% more damage with the traps. This does very little for him. If it did 400%, it would be a little bit more. And the reason is because that would be like having times 4 on the trap gems, which it's only 21 of. But it would be equivalent to having a times 4 multiplier on those. Instead, it's like having a 3.75 multiplier on them. This setup for him is going to be okay. He's going to be okay for you. There's better showboats in the game, far better showboats in the game. Nothing for me beats Undertaker. And, he might be in that top 5 range as far as that goes. But that's saying you have the gear, not necessarily his plate. For me, he's just too slow. The Three Amigos, the finisher that breaks 2 different sets of colors, and then a yellow rumble on top of it. You've just got faster showboats in this game at the current meta. He's easily going to kind of fall into the back end of that. So that's a personal opinion. There are people that love this Dom. I think if you got Blackman, he becomes a lot more interesting. But without Blackman, he's just going to sit in the back for the time being. So going from there, our next release was for Seth. Seth is good. I wish I would have waited. I ended up doing a spur of the moment last day of the MLC. I was like, I can get him. The real thing I was after was the Blackman shards. So I went ahead and did a pull, and I did the math. I was like, if I do one pull, then I'll get Seth. Not a single. Not a single. That would have been lovely. But no, it's the way that it landed. I had exactly 3,000 shards for Seth whenever I went, or by the time I finished that pull. I had the exact amount I needed and was able to get a good chunk of Blackman shards, even though I still need 1,200 more, but it puts me in a better place for him. So that's not to take anything away from Seth. I don't think he's the strongest Seth. I think he's the second strongest Seth. Acro Seth, he's just stupid strong. What I like, what I don't like with this one. What I don't like is he completely revolves around multiplies. There's nothing else. You could do a different moveset. You could do triple yellow, or you could do this one where you've got the purple, red, red, or just a red, red. But everything revolves around multiplies. So there is that as a downfall. But 2 very strong movesets, 2 very good options. The other Seth, the Acro Seth, has Cascade ability, but can hit a little bit stronger than this one. And he was free. So there is that. This one can do about 150 million, which puts him on par with the other powerhouses. Powerhouse is a very loaded, even more so than Showboat. Showboats, for the most part, you're in that 120 million range. For very few, Pig Boy can get in that if you 2-click him instead of 1-clicking. Same with Dudenator. Same with Drew. Undertaker's just gotten crazy with all the moments that they've added for him. Vader has gotten really strong with the introduction last year of Howdy into the game, and now another 200% with the reinforced plate. He's just so much. That's why I was so hard on Dom. But looking at the powerhouses, that puts Seth in a less needed position, because really your top powerhouses are all hitting the exact same. Granted, he's going to need less. He's going to have stuff that, is more easily available. But Coco Beware, him and his parrot plate hit a little bit harder than Seth, actually. But I think that's if you have Leo. Just something to consider with that. But the rest of them really hit just as hard as him. Your Hogan, he's in a class of his own. Ray, if you've got the same parrot plate, he hits ridiculous. Austin. Austin is going to be hitting in that same area as Seth. Maybe not quite as much, but close to it. CM Punk can hit as hard. Cody, KO, we all know. KO, it's great. There's always that one. I'm not going to say a 1% chance. It's always 50-50 with me. with KO. I've tried him with the new trainers. He just can miss like no one else. He's good at that. So, but that is what kind of ticks a little bit away at Seth, is just the fact that uh, he's not really bringing anything special to the game. Is he still strong? Is he somebody that I want to build hype wise? Absolutely. But he's going to take a back seat to Hogan as far as my Hogan's going up for my legend before him. I already got a Attitude Era with Viscera, and he may even take a back seat to Austin. It really depends on Wild Hype moving forward. Punk, as much as I'd love to bring Punk up, it's I know that I'm not going to get any hype for him, and it's all wild card. So, all right, that is Seth in a nutshell. So let's move on to our Black Friday Mr. Blackman. At this point, he is the number one shard person that you should be chasing moving forward. Saying that, it is hard to imagine that his shards are going to be free to play. Just being honest. Think Howdy. When Howdy first came out, you got a bunch of shards for him in the contest itself. After that, Howdy has been extremely paywalled, and the further away from the contest, the harder it is to get those. So within the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to want to try to achieve or get as many of these as you can, and then even start doing some Stip Tour stuff to get to the S Plus tier, is usually in Marquee. So you're going to want to start stacking up some stuff to get Blackman shards once they're available in the Stip store. Those are going to be a lot smaller of availability as far as 10 and 20. And you're only able to do it once a week, so you got to hope that he even pops up. But he's going to be a definitely big thing on the roster. I've yet to watch a video to see what he even does. I don't care. I care about this. You know, it's outside of that. I've got Haku, I've got Austin, I've got people that are raw or Attitude Era, that striker that can hit. Could care less what he can do in the game besides this coaching ability. This is one of the best coaches in the game. It's something that you want on your roster. Very good acquisition to the game. I didn't mention Seth's trainer. Seth's trainer's move damage for red. Sure, why not? I'm not a fan of move damage, if you haven't known. And the thing is I used to love move damage. It just kills me that every meta, the first thing they do is they kill off move damage. And then they try to make it to where it can't revive in going forward into the next meta. No move damage card that I'm aware of has made it into the next meta where that is still the focus on it. So, and we are not in the 6-star gold meta, we are in the hype meta. So, cards that were 6-star gold that were move damage don't work, even though 6-star gold is still the highest you could go as far as star fragments go. If you look at Rabbit and Solo Sokoa, they hit right on the cusp. And that was always the case with move damage. At 6-star silver, Tech Rock hit right at 30 million. Roman hit right around that 30 million. That was the max you could do at 6-star silver. 6-star gold, they were hitting right at that, call it 65 to 70 million, and they're not going to do anything more than that. So, yeah, move damage, not interested as far as that with Seth. All right, last we've got AJ Lee. We'll look at her training ability. We get 2 more countdowns. Sure, fantastic. I'm not sure who I would use that on. I thought it was really good when they came out with Solo. And I don't use it. I don't use Solo for anything. I might use him for AJ Lee, but I think there's better stuff for her. As far as a fighter goes, she's top 2. And it's flip a coin between her and, let me walk into the other room real quick. Her and Alexa. Those are going to be your top two female tricksters. AJ is stronger with less. Alexa needs things to be good. And, difference between a tier and an S plus. And that's fair. AJ, I'm not going to say she's harder to build than Alexa. Oh, hang on. She didn't hear me. Okay. But you could literally just use the trap move on and destroy and do, what is it, 150 million with all the things. AJ, I want to say, is in the closer to the 200 million, especially if you run triple purple like this. But this in Feud was just absolutely insane. But she's extremely good. You're definitely going to want her on your roster. She's definitely a game changer for the women's tricksters. And whatever you do with the purple move, she's got the 1 MP that could load. So whether you use this or the other countdown set, both of them are great sets. I was mainly focusing on the buff itself because it just does so much damage. But she does a countdown setup. Don't care. I'm sorry, not countdown. Color turn. Don't care. The countdown's all we care about. The other set is really strong. It's just one of those that it's kind of like her boyfriend or husband, whatever he is. I think CM Punk. Yeah, husband. He's got the color turn set. His multipliers are just so stupid strong. I don't understand why you would use the color turn. She's got it. The other set's just stronger. So that's that, and we're going to look at the moment, and then that's it for the month in a wrap. All right, so the moment that we have is the custody moment. The Dominic Mysterio custody match. On this moment, we've got Dirty Dom. We've got the new Dom, whatever they ended up calling him, King of the Luchadors. We've got Eddie Guerrero, who still sucks and needs a rework. We've got Eddie Guerrero, who still sucks and needs a rework. We've got Rey Mysterio. Acro Rey Mysterio. Yeah. There's a build for him. And it's actually good. And I'm going to show it just real quick. I'm not going to show the actual gameplay. I need to build my Rey the rest of the way to truly show it. But it's good. He might be, I'm going to say, second best Rey in the game now. Outside of the Ninja Turtle Rey. He's very interesting. And it's going to take some things that are a little whaley. But he became interesting. I like him more than this new Technician Rey. And, of course, this Technician Rey, he's going to benefit from this moment with 100% to green gem damage. And that's it. There's nothing for the immobiles. He gets 30%. Yeah, 50% more health. Dirty Dom is going to get 100% between the black gem and the all-color gem. The new Dom really only benefits from the 50% gem. They really could have done something better for him from this. And then, of course, Eddie's, you're not going to use them. I think Zoro showed something where this is more interesting now, but I don't remember what it was. I'll have to look at that, but yeah, they've just kind of dropped the balls with Eddie's. Real quick with our boy Ray. There were two things that came out this month. That moment was one of them. This moment came out recently. So if you got these two moments, you're going to increase your multiply strength by 3. Plus you get 50% more gem damage. And then you get 50% more health. Okay. This one multiplies go up by 75% once the moment is max. I've got to bring up 6 total. Whew. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So everybody on this card's got to go up. Whew. Okay. I don't think it's going to be worth it. If they would include the new Ray on this moment with that immobile boost, that would actually help him. He's on the wrong moment. Literally, he's on the wrong moment. If he were on this moment, he would actually probably be good. With that 100% to green and the immobile being 100%. But anyways, we're looking at Acro Ray. He gets 75% more with 50% more health, and you could call it some green gem damage. All right, but that's not going to be enough, right? Because this is what we're looking at. A tricolor build, and we're going to be using Tiger King. We are going to be utilizing green. So our green gets 2 MP, our blue gets 1 MP. Tiger King brings the blue MP to 3. Santa brings it to 4. Our turn brings it to 5. All right, now our green, we've got 2 from Ricochet. We've got 2 from Tiger King. We've got 1 from Santa. We've got 1 from our turn, so we're overloaded at the green. And then the black, we've got, the 3 between Tiger King and Santa. So that gets us loaded turn 1 without needing a middle line bonus. This is what actually makes this interesting. 2 multiply moves. Both are creating a row. This one is the bottom 4. This one is the bottom 2. They're multiplies of 2. The moment makes them 5. Seth makes them... Seth's going to end up making them 8. Tiger King is going to make them 10. So you're looking at multiplies of 10. And then you're going to use the new plate. You're going to actually activate the top part of the plate twice. And yes, there's 2 activations to this plate. But whenever you make 6 or more multiplies, increase your black gem damage by 200%. So we're going to do that twice. We're going to go ahead and break this row, which you're going to set up top. You're going to break that row with this move. Afterwards, it's just going to cascade the black. Therefore, you're going to end up getting... look, it's going to determine how many you hit and whatnot, but a 200% to black of the multiplies times 10... I'm really looking forward to building him. I just hope that I could actually get some hype, because this is going to be really good. If you have the gear, you get an extra multiply gem. I only have 1 gear, so I get another 30% from there. This has the potential to hit really good. Zoro has a video out for it. I highly suggest checking it out. But that is my breakdown of the month. I think I'm more excited about this guy than I should be, but I am. And also, I'm excited about the things that I've gotten. I think, sadly, the free things this month were the most underwhelming in Michelle McCool, Dom, and Ray. Everything else was fine, and I think it was a good MLC altogether. What killed the MLC, though, was the gameplay during the Tekken event. It just wasn't there, and they said that it was due to feedback. The feedback was never to get rid of gameplay. It was just to stop overloading Monday and then having nothing later in the week where it just you felt overwhelmed. They took it as, oh, we don't want to play during the week. No, that's not the case. But, all right, everybody. That's it for the November 2025. It is in the books. My main thing that I would encourage you to do is to chase Blackman shards. If you have the ability to do that over anything else that came out this month, all the characters, as far as Seth, AJ Lee, and Blackman, they're all fantastic. But his coaching ability is going to do more for your roster than having any of those characters. Now, once you have Blackman, get AJ Lee, because Blackman as a coach for AJ Lee is insane. That's everything. So we'll see y'all moving forward into the December MLC, which starts tomorrow. Bye.